right, so this is the video on how to work with titles. Specifically, we're going to look at how to save a title as a template, and then how to bring it into a new project, and then also how to create titles in Photoshop, if we like to do that. Now, you guys are probably watching this video here on Premiere Practice 5. In Premiere Practice 5, we're also working a lot with effects. But rather than make a video going over the effects, I'd really like it if you guys just go ahead and click on the link here that says video effects and watch the video from Adobe. It's pretty good. So you just have to scroll down right here that says add visual effects. Just watch this video. He does a pretty good job of going through it. And then you can go ahead and add the effects for your project. So instead, I'm just going to focus for this video on titles. So in Practice 5, again, as I said, we're going to save our title from Practice 4 as a template, and then we're going to bring it into Practice 5. And then we are going to also create a title in Photoshop. So I'll start here by, let me close this real quick. So I'm going to start by opening up Premiere. And any second here. And let me go ahead and I'm going to open up our demo that we started last time in Practice 4. So here we are. Oh, apparently I did not do a good job of saving it. So let me open up a different one instead. Fine, Premiere Practice 8. So, all right. So here is last time we created a title, right? In Photoshop, and the way we did it, or I mean in Premiere, and the way we did it again is we went to our graphics layout, and over in graphics we clicked on Edit, and then we clicked on New, and we created text and rectangles and brought in a picture from the file, and we created this really cool title down here. And then if you remember, I told you to go up and save it as a template. So to do that, we go up to graphics and we say export as a motion graphics template. All right. And then we go ahead and give it a name. All right. Let's call it the Mando. I'll hit OK. And that goes ahead and exports it as a motion graphics template. So if I was to close this project and go to another project, I could, in that new project, go over to my graphics tab and then go to Browse. And in Browse, it pulls up all my templates. And if I go look through my templates for the Mando, it's going to pop up with this title that I created. And then if I want to bring it into the project, I can just real easily click and drag it into my new project, and I have it there. Now again, it's a template. Right, you're going to say, well, Project 5 is different than Project 2. I'm not doing it about Star Wars. I'm doing it about something else. Well, then you can go in and edit this template. Right, so I can go in here and click on the text with my text tool, and I can change what it says. All right, like this, maybe I want to say Baby Yoda, right? And I can even go ahead and modify any of these layers that I created before. So again, I can shrink this down and say, all right, I want that different. I want that different. I can even go ahead and probably change out this this picture. I'd probably you just have to delete the picture and then put in a new picture. So I'd say from File, and I go look. Think of my downloads. I have a Yoda picture I can put in there. All right, so it's just kind of a nice way. It gives you a template, and then you can, on your new project, modify the template from there, right? And then again, that keeps some consistency between your different videos. Again, this is probably most useful in a scenario where maybe you have a channel and you're constantly creating videos for your YouTube channel or something like that. And you have a title down there that you want people to say, hey, go follow me on Twitter, or, catch me on this social media or that social media. Or if you're in a news station, right? And you're always doing interviews with people. Well, you want to have their name down there at the bottom when you're interviewing them. So you can create this title, and then all you got to do is go in there and change the name every time in every video. Now, the titles in Premiere are pretty powerful. Nice thing about them, of course, is we can animate them. And we can have all these different elements animated individually. So here's one for you that I went ahead and animated. Right? So it all pops up. Every element animates and moves around. So pretty cool. But we did spend a whole semester in Photoshop. And there's a lot of stuff you can do in Photoshop that you can't do in Premiere. So another option is you can actually create your titles in Photoshop. It's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. And since they're both made by Adobe, it's really easy to link these files and move them back and forth. So all you got to do is go up to File and go down to New and choose Photoshop File. That'll go ahead and pop up and say, what settings do you want for your Photoshop file? Again, it's going to match what your sequence already is, so that's perfect. Hit OK. Then it's going to ask you to give a name. Again, I already used that one, so sample Photoshop title. All right. And I'll hit Save. And what it does is as soon as I hit Save, you'll notice right here is it did put a new document here in my project window. Right, so down here in my project window, now I have a new file that says sample Photoshop title. And it's linked here to this document. So Photoshop actually opened up by itself. I know I kind of clicked into Premiere and kind of stopped it from popping up on top of the screen, but it actually popped up and it created this template or this document the right size for me automatically. Now all I got to do is go in here and create my title, what I want it to look like. So I can go in here and I could add some text. Sorry, my computer's running a little bit slow. So I'm going to make it black so you can see what I'm doing here. Right, so maybe I want to say Star Wars. And I can move this text around. I can make it bigger. You know how to use Photoshop, so I'm not going to spend too much time explaining it. But again, Photoshop, I can add anything I can create in Photoshop. I can use to my advantage to create a cool title. So that means I can do stuff like gradients, which, you know, a little bit harder to do in Premiere. So I can create a really cool gradient here. There we go. And I can bring in even other pictures. So let's go File, Place Embedded. I'll bring in that Yoda head again, just because that one's easy to find. All right, bring this down here. And maybe here's my new title, right? All right, and then all I got to do to get this back into Premiere is I go up to File and click Save. As soon as I hit Save, it updates in Premiere, and there's my title, right? In this file that's already there. And there it goes. I can drag it over and put it on my video here. Now let's say, oh, I go, okay, well, that's Star Wars. It's kind of hard to read. I don't like it. I think I also want to add a drop shadow to it. So again, I can go back to Photoshop. I can go in and make changes. So let's say I'm going to change my text here and change the color to white. All right, maybe I even want to add some drop shadows and such like that. Again, I got a lot of customizable control over my drop shadows here in Photoshop. Hit OK, and let's see here. Maybe I even want to add a drop shadow to Yoda here. Even that's an option, right? There you go. He's looking sharp now. Right? And so I've made these changes. I go back and say File, Save, and when I look back in Premiere, it's updated, and I have those new changes there now. So again, two really powerful ways to create titles for Premiere. Again, one way is obviously in Premiere using the graphics layout, and then you can save it as a template and use it over and over again. Another way is to use is to create a Photoshop file, and again, that Photoshop file, as you update it, it'll update throughout the project, and you could bring it into other projects as well. Just a matter of going and grabbing that Photoshop file that you saved. So anyhow, good luck. Have fun with the project. Again, there's a lot to the project, so read through here. Make sure you're getting all the things that you need. So 5 photos. You should have a black and white effect. You should have a Gaussian blur, and then an effect of your choice. That was day 1. And then day 2, you were adding 3 more photos and 3 more effects. So again, you really are messing around with effects. You do have to go into effects and change the settings for a lot of them to make them happen. Again, they're all listed in effects under video effects. Again, watch the video. Video is really good at explaining it. And then you're also adding some titles. So a title from your practice 4. So you're going to export that title from practice 4 as a template and then import it into your new project, practice 5. And again, go in and make some changes so that it matches your new video. And then you're also going to create a brand new title from Photoshop. Again, using all the skills that you learned. We spent a whole semester in Photoshop, so you got some good skills in there. Create a nice looking title, and then you'll bring that into your video in Premiere. All right, that's it.